Imagine this for a moment. You decide to step outside, just purely, openly.
Hmm.
You feel the air on your skin. Maybe it has that, that dry autumn crispness or the heavy velvet of a summer evening.
You can almost feel the light changing.
Exactly. The shadows are lengthening, bending around corners.
Yeah.
You hear the neighborhood, the rustle of leaves, like the earth is whispering secrets to itself.
And you take that first intended mindful step. You're ready to just receive the moment.
Yes, but then
And yet, before your second foot has even settled, the impulse takes over.
it's completely unconscious.
It is. The hand just drifts down, seeking that familiar weight in the pocket. You didn't decide to check your messages, but the hand moves anyway.
It's like a ghost reaching for a phantom limb. Such a powerful image.
It is, and the screen glows, and in that instant, the whole living world, the light, the leaves, your own breath, it all just fades.
It becomes a soft blur, like you're seeing your own life through frosted glass.
And we need to be clear about this. This isn't a lack of willpower. It's not some kind of moral failing.
So what is it?
I think we need a name for it. I would call it the quiet epidemic of our age. Disembodiment.
Disembodied.
Yes, it's the slow, almost imperceptible severing of our awareness from our presence. We've detached the mind from the feet. And this disconnection, this is precisely what fuels the fire of modern anxiety.
So it's not really the phone itself, but the habit. The habit of substituting this digital movement for actual real-world presence.
Precisely. We confuse movement on the screen with engagement in life. You know, in Buddhist traditions, they talked about the mind being like a wild monkey.
Right, always leaping from branch to branch.
Yes, never settling. But what's so fascinating is how technology has, well, it's upgraded the monkey.
How do you mean upgraded?
Today's monkey doesn't just leap through internal thoughts, it leaps through timelines.
Timelines.
In one instant, it jumps from the branch of yesterday's regrets to the branch of tomorrow's anxieties to the branch of someone else's perfectly curated highlight reel.
And the phone is the jungle gym.
It's the endless jungle gym of distraction. The vine it swings on, which prevents it from ever touching the ground,
It's such a paradox, isn't it? The very tool we believe connects us.
becomes the greatest agent of our own inner fragmentation.
We're globally connected, but internally we're completely fractured. What does that actually do to us psychologically?
Well, neuroscientists have a term for this. They call it continuous partial attention.
Continuous partial attention.
It's that state where you are never fully engaged with any one thing, but you're perpetually distracted by everything. You're always half listening, half seeing.
And that's not just annoying, is it? It sounds corrosive.
It is physically corrosive. Your body, you see, it can't tell the difference between being chased by a predator and receiving 30 notifications, all demanding a piece of your attention.
So it's a real threat as far as the body is concerned.
It's a real threat. And this constant manic task switching, it drains your cognitive resources. The result is a sustained spike in cortisol, the stress hormone.
We're putting ourselves in a low-grade state of fight or flight.
Constantly. Perpetually. And it erodes our inner stability because we are never anchored, never truly safe in the here and now.
Which brings us back to the Buddha's teaching on suffering, on dukkha. How does this connect to our anxiety?
It tells us that anxiety isn't really a problem of the future. It's born from the mind's frantic, exhausting attempt to control the future.
When we're ungrounded.
When we are ungrounded, yes. We become prisoners of what if. Every what if becomes another link in a chain we forge around ourselves. The suffering comes from resisting what is right now.
So the simplest way to put it is, you are not where your feet are.
That is the disconnect. That's it. And if we look deeper, there are really two kinds of suffering.
Okay.
There is the unavoidable suffering, loss, pain, illness, impermanence, the things life just hands us.
And then there's the suffering we add on top of that.
Precisely, the optional part. The story we tell ourselves about the pain. I would argue that most of modern anxiety belongs squarely in that second category.
It's self-inflicted.
It's self-inflicted through absence, through forgetting that we even have roots.
I feel that. Anxiety feels like this deafening internal storm, It's echoing all these whispers, you're falling behind, something terrible is coming.
And those whispers only grow loud when there is no counterpoint, no grounding sound.
Like the crunch of gravel under your feet.
Or the simple cadence of your own heartbeat. The storm loses its power when it has to compete with reality. Think of the lotus flower.
Rooted in the mud, but rising up unstained.
Yes. The mud is reality. It's necessary. It's where the nourishment is. Your body, your breath, your senses, these are your roots in that mud.
And the digital noise.
Yeah.
That's the storm above.
That is the storm above, the wind that pulls. And if you lose awareness of those roots, the storm will absolutely carry you away.
It makes the simple act of walking feel almost radical, subversive even.
It is.
Just to walk and observe like we did as kids, watching ants kicking pebbles. There was peace in that because there was no agenda.
There was no need to validate or document the moment. And that peace isn't gone, it's just buried. And for you, for anyone who is always learning, always consuming information, the most radical act of self-healing today might just be the simplest one.
Leaving the phone behind.
Leaving it behind, not as a punishment, but as an act of reclamation, an act of homecoming.
I really appreciate that framing, reclamation. But let's get real for a minute. That can feel, well, almost irresponsible today. What about work? Emergencies, maps?
That's the essential question, isn't it? The goal isn't wholesale abandonment. It's not about becoming a Luddite.
So what is it about?
It's about creating small, conscious pockets of intentional absence, redefining the relationship. You don't have to hike into the mountains for a week.
Just 10 minutes.
Start with just 10 minutes. Make the conscious choice. I am leaving this device in a drawer. When the phone is gone, the world returns. Not as a backdrop, but as an active participant in your life.
But what happens when the mind starts to panic? When it's starved of its usual fuel, the updates, the texts, and there's nothing new to chase?
That is precisely the moment the real work begins, right there on the sidewalk.
You're talking about walking meditation.
Kinhin in Zen, Kankama in the Theravada tradition. This practice is 2,500 years old.
And why walking? We always hear about sitting meditation. Why is movement sometimes a better anchor for our restless modern minds?
Because the mind loves to multitask, but the body is always singular, always in one place at one time.
So sitting still can sometimes just amplify the restlessness?
It can. Walking meditation gives the mind a singular physical task, the step that grounds the awareness. You don't need a special cushion. The profound spiritual practice happens wherever your feet land.
The body is the ultimate anchor.
Yes, because the body never lies. While your mind is spinning these elaborate stories of past shame or future dread,
The foot touching the earth is just honest.
it is always honest, it's always now, it's always real. The body anchors the mind in the truth of this very instant.
And modern neuroscience backs this up, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. When we walk without distraction, we quiet the brain's default mode network, the DMN.
That's the part of the brain that's responsible for all the inner chatter, the rumination.
It's the brain's background hum, the generator of what-if scenarios. Undistracted walking lowers the activity of that network. Cortisol levels drop. The system realizes it's not under threat.
We are literally out walking anxiety.
We are out walking anxiety.
So for someone trying this for the first time, what's the practical instruction?
The intention is everything. As you walk, just gently bring your attention to the sensations in your feet.
Feel the heels striking the ground.
The weight rolling across the arch, the push-off from the toes, the shift of weight from one leg to the other. That is the entire practice.
It's profound because it's so simple.
Yes.
And when the mind inevitably drifts off,
You just return it with kindness, not with force, not with judgment, just gently, as if you're guiding a curious child back to safety. It's an active choice, one step at a time.
let's talk about the payoff. Because there's this subtle, incredible shift when the phone's absence stops feeling like a loss and starts to feel like liberation. It just sort of sneaks in like dawn. You suddenly notice sunlight filtering through the trees, or you realize you haven't thought about your inbox for 10 whole minutes.
That subtle shift is the doorway to what we could call spaciousness.
Spaciousness.
In the Mahayana tradition, we speak of sunyata. It's often translated as emptiness, but it's not a void. It's the expansive, fertile ground that opens up when mental clutter is removed.
So by removing the screen, you're creating space.
You are creating space for your inner world and the outer world to finally meet without an intermediary.
Because the screen, it fundamentally contracts our perception, doesn't it? It just narrows everything down to that little rectangle of curated chaos.
And we're convinced we need it to be connected, when the truth, as we've said, is the opposite. It causes internal isolation. When we walk with empty hands, we're honoring the Japanese concept of ichigo ichi.
One time, one meeting.
Every moment, every step, every single breath is utterly unique. It will never happen again in exactly this way. And by receiving it with open eyes, we honor that.
There's a school of thought, Yogacara, the mind-only school, that says our perception doesn't just record reality, It actually shapes it.
It absolutely shapes it.
No.
When your perception is contracted by the screen, your reality is shaped around tasks and comparisons.
But when you practice open awareness,
The world reveals itself as spacious, alive, interconnected.
can you give a concrete example of that shift?
Of course. Think of a puddle on the sidewalk. When you're rushing, checking your phone, the puddle is an obstacle, an annoyance to be avoided.
Right.
But with open awareness, you might notice the puddle is a mirror. It's reflecting the sky, the clouds, the trees. It stops being an obstacle and becomes a temporary canvas. A sparrow is no longer just a bird. It's a fellow traveler in this moment.
That's a process of active re-enchantment with the world.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Re-enchantment.
And there's this gift of time that comes with it. I've noticed that 10 minutes of mindful walking feels so much richer than an hour of scrolling.
Because presence is the true currency of meaning. Distraction consumes time. Attention deepens it. You're no longer consuming content. You are finally participating in existence.
So the final step in all this seems to be about trust. Anxiety thrives on this illusion of control.
It does. And peace comes from actively surrendering to life's flow. Walking without a destination is an act of active trust in the unfolding moment.
It's a practice.
It's a practice of Gom, a Tibetan word for familiarization. We are familiarizing ourselves with peace, with stillness, until it becomes our natural state. 10 minutes a day is enough to begin that recalibration.
And anxiety at its core is really a fear of abandonment, isn't it? Of being unsafe or alone.
It is. And this practice reveals the profound truth that you are always accompanied.
By what?
You are accompanied by your breath, which is always faithful. You are accompanied by your body, which is always honest. And you are accompanied by the quiet intelligence of the universe, the life that flows through you. You realize you are not separate.
The ultimate healing is realizing you were never abandoned in the first place.
Precisely.
So you don't need to retreat to a cave. You just need to carve out these small sacred rebellions against the noise.
That conscious step. That morning cup of tea with empty hands, just focusing on the steam and the heat. There's a story of a restless monk who went to the Buddha, expecting some complex doctrine for his busy mind.
And what did the Buddha tell him?
He just said, "Feel the earth, watch the ants, listen to the wind." He quieted his mind by stopping the feeding of thoughts.
That simplicity is everything.
It is. Healing doesn't come from more information, it comes from deeper attention. Peace doesn't come from controlling the future, it comes from embracing the now. And freedom doesn't come from having more, but from needing less.
So when that familiar whisper of anxiety comes, telling you you're not safe, do not reach for the screen, reach for your feet. Walk into the open arms of the present. The world is waiting, not on your phone, but right here. Alive, breathing, and completely yours.